Hey, Rigsby here, and in today's episode, I want to talk with you about the wealthy owner path. Let's get to it. Over the last year and a half, I've watched so many of the owners that we've worked with just do great things, right? We've had a lot of people in Boardroom and Project 500 have banner years. Our boardroom group I've raved about for years and years. And year after year, they do wonderful things. They make progress. They're great teammates. They are the epitome of who you want as a coach, the team that you want to be around, the team you want to be a part of. And we've, in maybe a little over the past year, launched Project 500, which is a coaching program, kind of a hybrid, a one-on-one and small group coaching program to help owners get to and beyond $500,000 a year. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it, but I thought maybe kind of looking at the commonalities of the success stories in those groups might be useful to you as an owner as you kind of move down your own path. Now, you may have different goals than the people in these groups. You may have different circumstances, but the 7 steps that I'm going to walk through, I think are universal. They are going to be effective whether you're a sports performance business owner, a baseball facility owner, a gym owner who trains adults at 50 plus, or maybe even a business beyond that. For the most part, it's still going to hold true. So there's 7 steps. I'm going to walk you through one by one, and hopefully you've got a few takeaways that you can use to help build the business you want in the upcoming year. The first thing that I would tell you is all the great businesses that I'm around have some clarity. Number one, they clarify who they serve and what they sell. They get really clear. They try not to be all things to all people. And now I'm going to tell you that that's not always like this snap your fingers transition if you're somebody who has been all things to all people, because a lot of times we kind of just do things to pay the bills, right? We say, okay, I'll take this person over here. I'll take that person over there because we need the money. I've got some available capacity. We'll run different types of programs, large groups, small groups, some one-on-one, some off-site stuff, whatever we need to just get by. But almost without exception, the businesses that I see do the best are really clear about who they serve and how they serve them. Now, that doesn't mean that they only have one way of serving at all times. I mean, yeah, it makes wonderful sense to say, okay, I serve the 50 and over crowd and we do it through small group training. That model lands, and I think it's one of the best models that somebody can run. If you train athletes, we're probably going to have a core program, but then, yeah, sure, you're going to run some seasonal camps or clinics. You're going to do some stuff around Christmas break or summer break. You may do some things to bring people in to augment your core program. So, but you're really clear about who we are best at helping, how we can stand out in the marketplace. So we have a brand identity. And if we do that, we're going to stand out. We're going to attract the right people. It's going to be easy for our clients, for other people in the market to talk about us, to spread the word and become ambassadors for what we do. So number one, we get clear about who we are and how we serve. Number two, I think that we see a lot of people who do great by activating the assets they already have. So many good business owners, they've got a network, they've got reactivation kind of databases or former clients, they've got strategic alliance partners that they can work with. They've got content that they've created. They just do better by activating the assets that they have as a foundation, because that gives them a springboard, right? They're not automatically just bolting on something out of desperation in hopes that it gets fixed. They say, no, we're going to grow or build from the inside out. So they activate the network they have. They generate referrals. They invite back former clients. They stay connected. They build relationships with other businesses in the community. They use the clients that they have and their relationships to get introductions to other people who might be a good fit. And yeah, they're pretty good at sharing the great things that are going on inside their business with the outside world, so people can know. People who are curious, they can start to do some research and investigate, because that's what people do now. There's not some linear marketing path where they see an ad and fill out a form and schedule an appointment, they get out their phone and they start doing some research. And so great businesses really leverage these assets that they have inside their four walls and use them to build relationships, build brand awareness, and build trust with people who can come in and potentially do business with them. Number three, people systemize what they do so they're not the bottleneck. Now, a lot of the people who come to us are a solopreneur, or they've got a small team, part-time team, people covering a few sessions a week or something like that. But again, they're motivated to improve, to evolve, and so they systemize what they do so they can hand off more, so they can stay in their zone of genius, if you will, so they can do higher value tasks and delegate so they can elevate their role in the business and become more of an owner. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't coach. I know plenty of people we work with love coaching, and that's a big part of the joy they get from running their business. But it's not because they have to do every session. It's not because they have to be on the floor 40 or 50 hours a week. It's because they're picking the time slots that they want to work. They're picking the clients they want to work with. And then they systemize everything else so they stop being the bottleneck. Because a lot of times we're the reason that the business doesn't grow beyond our own shadow. We're the ones holding on to things. We're the ones not willing to empower other people to be great at tasks. We're just basically kind of control freaks and not willing to let other people play a role maybe they're better at playing, because it's impossible for us to be great at everything and have the bandwidth to do everything. I know I have seen it time and time again. When I've spread myself too thin, every lane of business or life pays the price, right? So better to systemize what you do and delegate so you're no longer the bottleneck. So that's number three. Number four, kind of along those same lines, the best business owners step into the role of owner and stop holding tight to just being the operator. Again, that doesn't mean that the great business owners that we get to work with aren't still in that operational role. They're not just kind of stepping back, but they're definitely building a role around their strengths. They're leveraging other people's strengths and time, and they're basically building a scalable business so that they can grow to whatever kind of size, revenue level, profit level that they're aspiring to reach. And a lot of times that means becoming a little bit more of a leader and less of just kind of an employee of the business. It means stepping into the role of being more of a marketer, more of a salesperson, a person installing the systems and developing the team. Again, that doesn't mean you can't be on the floor. It doesn't mean you can't coach. There are certain, I still coach high school and travel baseball because I love coaching. But I also know that for anything that I'm doing, the more systematic it is, the better the other people around me are going to be at whatever we're asking of them, whether they're players or other coaches. So we got to move into more of that kind of ownership role and less of the operator role. Number five, we focus on the numbers that drive growth. I can tell you so many business owners kind of bury their head in the sand when it comes to numbers. They don't know how many leads they get. They don't know how many of those leads come in for a consult or a trial. They don't know their conversion rate. They don't know their monthly recurring revenue, their average monthly revenue per client. And your business gets a lot easier the clearer you are on the numbers, right? Because you know where the bottlenecks are. You know what to fix. You can focus your effort. A lot of times people think of this as one more thing to do. And I will be the first to tell you, I am not somebody who spreadsheets are my love language or something, right? Like I am somebody who I want the simplest numbers that give me the information that I need. And that's about it. But what you'll find is if you know the numbers, right? If you know where your leads are coming from, if cost per lead, cost per client, if you know the conversion rate from lead to trial or trial to client, you can hone in and not just kind of throw things against the wall and hope to know what sticks. And instead you can hone in and say, okay, this is what we need to fix now. This is our number one priority. So it saves you time, it saves you resources, it gives you far, far better results. So the great business owners we get to work with certainly know their numbers. And then number six, I think the best owners we work with all are relentlessly consistent. They create a consistent marketing plan and a consistent client experience. And either of those could probably be their own category, but they have a monthly marketing system that they install. They have a client experience system that they deliver month after month to make sure that the people that they already have stay. So it's kind of internal marketing, right? It's internal relationship building. But the people who struggle almost always are kind of erratic about it and only do things when there's a trigger that drives them to do it. Hey, they got a couple cancellations in 2 or 3 days. So, we've got to tighten up our retention. We've got to improve some of this stuff. Or numbers are low, or I saw something on TikTok, so I need to install this marketing thing. The best business owners, this is just what they do month after month and even week after week. So relentlessly consistent when it comes to marketing and client experience. They're really non-negotiables if you want to build a successful business. And finally, number seven, and it kind of calls back to a couple of things that I've already talked about, but great owners lead their business. They don't just carry their business, right? They're not the person that tries to do it all. They're not the people continually trying to plug a finger in a hole in the dam. They're building a business. They're leading it to where they want it to go. Sure, businesses are never a finished product. We're all improving as team members as well. And the same would apply for clients. So it's always an kind of in process type of thing, but the best owners take the role of leadership and they love it, right? They want to continue to move things forward day after day, and they wake up and they embrace that stuff. They see it as an opportunity. And honestly, that's kind of what drew me to entrepreneurship. And that's why I wanted to close with this one, because I know that I had the good fortune to lead a college baseball program, and we got pretty good. I took over a program that wasn't very good, didn't have a track record of success, and we, in spite of having really, really limited resources, became nationally competitive, competed and played well in the World Series, developed a lot of really wonderful people who are doing great things as men today. But I also know that in that environment, I didn't love working in a bureaucratic environment. Working at a state university, as much as I have great affection for my alma mater, has kind of multiple layers of bureaucracy. You've got a university, and then you've got the fact that it's a state institution and relying on state funding. And I love the idea of going and leading my own thing and saying, okay, the buck stops with me. Everything ultimately comes back to how I do as a leader. Am I willing to take responsibility for creating the livelihood that I want? And I understand that I probably can't do it alone, right? In my opinion, all things in life are a team sport, and we're each the leader of our own kind of our team in that regard. So I think the great business owners understand that their job's to lead. It's not just all on their shoulders. That's not it. It's not a solo endeavor, but the responsibility to lead and create an environment where everybody thrives comes back to us. And I see that in all the great business owners that we get to work with. So if you want to have a path to building a better business, whether it's in the next few months, the next year, or beyond, those 7 steps, those have been kind of universally present with all the successful owners we've worked with. And I'm certain that they'll be present in your business as well if you decide, hey, I'm going to commit to building a great business.